Guess who's back? Back again. Kelly's back. Tell them.
Hell yeah, Kelly! Hell yeah, Kelly!
How do you do this in every single video?
Well, it cringes me probably more than you ever expect, so it's okay. now you know the feeling of it.
And your fans love it, right? Like,
Oh, my fans will. Oh my god, you will be a meme in my Discord, trust me.
painful. Because Vladimir Lenin is like spreading what I said in the past.
Oh yeah.
In your Discord. You've seen those, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
There's also quite a few like fake ones out there, so it's mixing. You don't know which one I actually said, which one I didn't say.
Oh yeah, those are annoying. If they like people just have like those like machine generation thingies, right?
I feel like that ruins the fun a bit of like, you know, when someone says something weird in the past, you could take that off context, right? Then you have like these fake ones flooding it.
Yeah, true.
This is how I feel.
Okay, so today's topic, today we won't have a guest, sadly. But for the next, I mean, sadly, we can just do it ourselves. We're that amazing. You'll be interested, please.
Please take more than 2 minutes.
Please, yes. But today's topic basically is me in the Swiss Army, Swiss Armed Forces.
For some of you who doesn't know, there's mandatory military service in Switzerland.
Yes.
And Juljas has to stay there for quite a while.
Yeah, so in Switzerland, it's usual after you like finish your apprenticeship or finish the gymnasium, college or whatever you call it in your country, that you have to serve in the army. So mostly you can do it in 5 months, which most people do. So you do 5 months, and then you have like every year or every some years you'll have like 3 weeks where you do it, and then overall you'll have to amass about 10 months. And I decided that I'd do it all in one go because I didn't feel like sticking around in the army. Because, yeah.
How unpatriotic. Shame on you, Juljas.
I'm so sorry.
And again, why does Switzerland need a standing army?
Well, Switzerland has like the principle, I mean, everybody knows we're neutral, but Switzerland doesn't just believe in neutrality like the Benelux did in the Second World War, where it's just like, yeah, we're neutral, please don't attack us. Switzerland actually is ready to fight back, so I think we call it the armed neutrality. So basically, we're neutral, but we also can enforce our neutrality. So if somebody violates the borders, that's just the principle.
Plus, you have a lot of mountains, right? So imagine it would be pretty hard to invade Switzerland.
That's a big part why we have barely ever been invaded, because just often it's not really worth the bother to invade the country.
So yeah, that makes sense. So how was your experience? Like, can you tell us some of your stories you had there, like your first experience?
Well, I think I'll just start at the beginning, because I'll probably do like tell a bit more about the army as it goes, and it makes sense to start at the beginning. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I because of school reasons, I joined a week later in the army, so I still had quite long exams, etc. And then I went in the army. That means that I missed like the first week, which I thought wouldn't be a big deal, but it was a big deal because you receive all the material and a lot of instruction already is told in the first week. And I had no idea because I wasn't there yet. And then I think till like the 10th week, so 70 days, I hadn't yet received every single part of my stuff. I like got some rudimentary stuff in the beginning. Yeah, I think like for the first like week or half a week, I didn't even have a uniform, so I was just walking around in my shirt and stuff.
So it took you 10 weeks to catch up with everything.
With everything, yeah. I mean, I got a lot of stuff before, but until I got every last bit, it was 10 weeks, which is insane.
Nice.
It's insane.
You'd be surprised how much you'd miss, especially like on the first few days.
Oh yeah, the problem is there's a lot of people who know each other. You get assigned to rooms and stuff, and you start bonding. And I just come in like, hello.
So does that mean you're, like you said, you get like mandatory after college or finishing college, right? Or
it's after college.
while you're still...
After.
So you're finished with college already?
Yeah. So I finished my college then, and then I was the thing was I finished my college. We had the exams, we had the party. Then I had one free day, and then I already was drafted. So I had 2 days of just doing nothing basically, and one day I was hungover. So, so
Oh,
that's
because I see.
so that started very interestingly, and yeah. So I first enjoyed, and the problem was also that a lot of the higher ups, like they were called Unteroffizier, like Sous-Offizier. How do you call them at you?
Hmm?
It's like a
The higher ups.
it's like a surgeon. Sergeant. I think it's sergeant. So how do you call it?
Remember
Just
which higher ups?
well, I don't know exactly the term. Let's have a look.
Actually, yeah, I'll Google it.
Yeah, can you please Google it because I can't.
Let me see.
So basically, the higher ups, the surgeons, I'll call them like that now till you correct me. They were often lazy and they didn't feel like giving the instruction twice again because they had their program of what they have to explain, and I was a week late. So they basically said, "Let your buddies, your fellow, how are you called again then, privates, your fellow privates instruct you." Which, trust me, if people only have 1 week of experience, they can't explain very well.
So I Googled it and oh my, it's all in German or French. So we got recruit, soldat, Graffiter,
Gefreiter.
Obergraffiter. Oh no.
Well,
Is that what you call them?
well, we called them Recruit, Soldat, Gefreiter, and Obergefreiter.
So are those the officers you're talking? And then there's like the non-commissioned one.
There's like I think at that time it was the Obergefreiter for us, and then they turned into sergeants, sergeant. Wait, how's it called again? Just like well,
There's
anyway.
also those.
I had to actually like the first few days I had to like memorize every single rank, and you see how much I kept from that.
Yeah, I'm just Googling it. Oh my.
So the first weeks weren't too nice. I remember still when like people had to come, and I just came, with a total casual mindset, like, oh, how's this? And then you just suddenly, like, you're treated with a decent amount of respect if you're just, otherwise in life, if you're just doing school and stuff. Then you join the army, and you're just a piece of dirt. People just think if you're lowest part of the chain, you're just a piece of dirt. And I was totally not ready for that because I just came out of, a place of respect and people like knowing how to speak to each other. Then you just a piece of dirt.
That's pretty surprising because I assume like a lot of people have to go through this, right? So you expect to be a bit more chill, right?
Well, what I heard in the later on is that if you do a full thing at once, which is called Durchdiener, then I think the infantry, because I joined the infantry, they think that they're some kind of elite. So they try to have an elite, and I went in there with a total chill, like, oh, let's just do this, I just want to get it over with, just screw it.
Just all at once.
Yeah, just let me have it done, and then it won't bother me later on in life. Which some buddies of mine now still have like those things, those 3 weeks a year, and they're annoyed as hell by it, and I don't have anything, which is quite nice.
So did you regret doing this, or?
I mean, in the first few days and weeks, yes, because oh my god, I hated it in the beginning. And the problem was that I like to I like to think, and thinking in the army, if you're lower down, is seen as a very bad trait. Like asking questions like, wait, this is totally senseless. Can we do that more efficient? And then what already happened? They just say, you run around. Well, I can't speak. Run around the building once, and then you'll understand.
How's the first experience, like exercises? Like you probably weren't used to all those exercises.
Well, I wasn't that unsporty back then. I mean, now I've kind of YouTube killed a bit of my sportiness, but I mean, I'm still fairly fit, but I was quite fit back then, and some of the exercises weren't that bad, but the problem was that, like I said, they considered themselves elite, and some of the guys were like really fit, like fuck me, those guys.
So their stamina are probably like unbelievable.
Yeah, some of them were crazy. Like, yeah, we had to like do some sports tests, and I always was quite decent, and I wasn't like the worst, but there were some guys who just pulled ahead so much. Like, I didn't really struggle with the weights and stuff. That was just a part of it, just like carry heavy stuff. That's not a big deal for me. What kind of fucked with me is that you never could like pose any questions. You just had to like swallow everything the higher ups tell you, and you just sucked. And I had the bad instructions because my buddies told me how to do stuff, and they knew it very flawed because they only had known it a little bit, and then they gave me bad instructions. So I also sucked at everything. Then like how to use a gun and stuff. They're like
Oh,
my body's like, I mean, not they necessarily use it, but like clean it, because you have to be able to clean it and take it out of each other in like a minute. Like
clean it.
the whole gun, yeah, the whole rifle. You have to be able to put it out of each other and have a perfect, like you have a setup where everything always has to look the same if you take it out of each other. And I just in the beginning had no chance of getting it anywhere near there because I had my friend that showed me.
Also, you had like friends and acquaintance in that, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
it
more like
wasn't
acquaintance,
all
like the comrades.
strangers.
Comrades.
So you knew some people already when you went in the service, right?
No. They just were like my room companions. And like this is already like the first week, let's say, not just the first day.
So were strangers to you? You had no like someone you know who joined at the same time.
I don't think so. No single body.
Uh,
But then you soon then once start like building friendships and stuff. And a lot of people. I just remember like the guys told me in the room that when they arrived the first evening when they just got there, everybody was just like, "What the fuck?" I obviously missed that moment, but what the fuck? And I had one guy who slept in the bed next to mine because you have like a room with about what was it about 20 people.
sounds pretty gay to me.
The problem about it is that it's not so that easy to sleep if somebody like snores and stuff. It's really annoying.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons how I learned to sleep with earphones on in the army because I'd rather listen to music than somebody.
I see.
And trust me, a lot of
So
people. So what you
it's like that. Have you seen the movie like Full Metal Jacket? Do you have to go through that?
it's not even that dissimilar. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not as bad, right? That's the Full Metal Jacket one.
There's not a lot of. I mean, there's some to some degree some screaming, but it's not like the whole time. They don't shout everything, and you don't have to like give your weapon a name and like sleep with it and stuff.
Bearable, right? Like bearable.
Well, yeah, just better than that. Oh, we had some weird people in there. Trust me. Sometimes I felt quite. Yeah, there was this guy. Like I said, this guy who slept next to me. He was like, oh, I don't want to be mean. He seemed like a nice person, but he was so dumb.
How so?
Once he tried to explain to me that cleaning teeth doesn't bring anything. It doesn't work. The only thing which helps, it just gives you good taste in the mouth.
I see. It's that kind of person.
Yeah, and in the beginning, I like for half a minute, I just tried to explain like, oh my god, my friend, there is a lot of chemicals and that would protect you, and then I just gave up because,
You gave up.
well, what? It's like trying to explain to a flat Earth that the Earth isn't flat. Like, yeah, and oh my god, and already some guys was
Meet
like,
any friends that you still talk with today? Like any friends?
oh, I
You
have
meet
like
in,
I have like 2-3 guys.
you still talk with them to this day.
I mean, not daily, but once in a while, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, one of them I still meet like once in a while, like every few months. I just go to his, and then we just chill.
Are you sure you're just chilling over there, huh?
Ah, we are because we
You know what they do with the Spartans, right? Or what's it called?
No, the only
The
thing.
Alexander one? Forgot the companions.
Oh my god! Stop with the gay jokes.
Suspicious, that's all.
No, I usually go to his. We like go to Subway, eat a sandwich, and then we just play like strategy games till like 4 in the morning and watch movies. I think we once had like a campaign on Rome Total War, and we played like till 4 in the morning, and then we watched
So he plays strategy games too. That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like the guy who like showed me a lot of animes and stuff. So because of him, I got into it. And
Another
then
one?
animes.
Oh, is it the same way I suggested you Boku no Pico?
Yes.
Yes.
So for you out there who don't understand this, there is this one. Well, it's not an anime. It's a hentai, isn't it?
Kinda.
So this my buddy who like showed me like 2-3 really good animes and I really enjoyed them. Then he like said, "Oh, watch this one." I was super excited because like, oh yes, he always shows me so good animes. I click on it. I watch like the first 10-15 minutes. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No.
This is so
This
gay.
is the opening itself.
Yeah, I mean, he explained it like, oh yeah, it's like a really like gory anime, and that's why you don't find it on normal anime sites.
Sure. Which side did you find it on, huh?
So for people who haven't seen it, it's like what is it like a lolly gay hentai, something like that.
Wasn't it like incest, if I remember? Or
Oh,
like uncle and
it's just
uncle
horrible.
relation.
It's just horrible. I was just there after I wrote him like, dude, did I click on the right thing? And he was just dying of laughter. And he asked me like, how much did you watch? I said, oh my god, 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to something is a bit too long for me.
And then I forced him to watch the whole thing. Just I mean the first episode, obviously, just because I wanted revenge.
So the how I found out about this anime is I had like female classmates. I overheard their conversation. Apparently there was this scene with a popsicle. I think the Pico, the main character there, drops it in his pants. Something like that. He drops his popsicle in his pants. Then the uncle tries to clean it up. I think that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but
I think
I was lucky to hear the description before like bother watching the anime.
I never got that far.
You never got that far.
No, I don't think so. I think like at the first like super at the beginning just to show dicks and stuff. I was like, okay, that's a bit strange, but I mean it's just a dick. I can get over it, you know. But I didn't expect him to just start making out and like sucking. I was like, nope. Sorry, I don't care how good this is. I'm not gonna watch this.
I'm surprised you never heard of it. I think Boku no Pico is one of those things where it's like popular in the internet, like similar to the what's that called, the Two Girls One Cup one. That I saw. Regrets.
Thank God I dodged that bullet though. So you lost brain cells in the other part than I did.
I don't know why. Like once it gets to that certain scene, I don't know if you know what scene I'm talking about.
Like I said, I have never seen it. I don't want to. I want to keep like my innocence.
I think it's really best you don't know, because oh boy.
Oh my god.
That wasn't. It's still in my head. Why am I imagining? No.
Oh.
So, what a cool guy.
Now he seems like a cool guy. Hey, he didn't seem too cool to me when I was like at the I don't know when it was, like 11 a.m. watching Boku no Pico and just wondering what the fuck. How is this a good anime? He just did.
Nothing was fishy to you when you saw the opening.
I always skip the openings. God damn it.
I see. Because the opening would have given you a lot of like warnings already.
Fuck! I shouldn't skip openings because I always find like, oh yeah, sure, opening, whatever. Skip.
Because I think you can see the openings in YouTube.
I didn't watch. He already sent me like a website where I could go on it. I think that was one of the tricks.
It's like, what is it, like Hentai Haven?
No, it wasn't. It was like an other site. It wasn't like a porn site. That's why it didn't catch me off guard. You know, it was like, oh, just a normal site. Kind of normal.
Kind of normal.
So, do you have any question to like?
Normal anime, like nothing fishy.
It didn't seem that fishy. Trust me. He like sent me. He was real sneaky about it.
So you like planned this through.
He must have already done it to other people because my god.
You fell for it, right?
It wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice experience. I regret 10 out of 10. Never again. Never forget the mom spaghetti.
Like whatever suggestion he gives in the future. No.
Everything he ever sends me just gets questioned. Like, what is this? Please explain.
Just in case you do a bit of research first.
So, Kelly, do you have like any like army specific questions? Because, like I said, I've already got experience in it. Even though I was the worst soldier ever. But
were you now?
Oh yeah, I was a horrible soldier. I tried to find like little holes and tricks everywhere. For the longest time, sure. I had physiotherapy because I didn't really have anything. I had like a little bit of back pain because I walk a bit weird with the shoes I had there. So because I walked a little weird, my knee started hurting. Because my knee started hurting, I started walking a little more weird, and then my back started hurting. So it all got better when I had like how do you call it, like special soles.
Special souls. What's that?
You know, like I don't know, what's the word for it in English? I think I'm pretty sure it's souls, right?
Yeah, but what do you do in there? Like what? I'm not sure. Not too familiar with this thing.
Yeah, just like if you walk weird, where they just put something in your shoe which stabilizes the way you walk, basically.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
So it's something you wear.
yeah, you put it in your shoe.
Ah, okay.
So I got those, and then everything got better. But I for the longest time I just said because the physiotherapy wasn't the same place like where I was being a soldier. So I just told them at the physiotherapy that they don't need me. They say, oh yeah, I can go, and the guys in the army I just told, oh yeah, they say I have to go to physiotherapy. So I just lied to both of them because nobody double checks. I just I got through with it.
I see. So some questions. What do you usually eat there?
Oh.
Like for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So this is now going to be a big exposed just thingy, but
Oh, no.
but I don't eat any meat.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian.
Ah.
But it's not because because the animal rights. I mean, I also can see that point, but it's more because the taste. I don't like the taste of meat.
So it's just taste, huh? So is it mostly on health? How about health?
How about what?
Health, like some people are vegans because of like health stuff, right? They think it's healthy or something like that.
Oh, I'm not sure it is healthy. I'm not so sure, but I really just don't eat meat because I don't like it.
You just don't like the taste.
I really just don't like the taste. It's that simple, but yeah, I'll probably still get flack from my community. But
Yeah,
I
like
only
find enemies to like shit on you.
well, they do, yeah. But so food was a little hard because a lot of stuff was just basically. I mean, you can cook vegetarian, like you can try to go for that taste, or you can like cook meat and just put like a side dish. And so I basically ate most of the time side dishes. So
Must be pretty bad.
I didn't eat that well.
For like how long again? How long was it? 11 months?
10.
10. What else? Another question. What time do you usually wake up? Like super early?
Oh yeah,
Especially if it's
sleep is horrible. Sleep is horrible. So basically, the day is you get up at I think 5 or 6 o'clock. It changes like every week. It's like once you get a half an hour more, once you get a half an hour less. So I think once it's like 5:30 and once it's 6 a.m. or something like that. And then you have a whole day.
And what time do you usually sleep?
So like at 5 to 6 a.m. we wake up, and we usually had the full day till about 10 in the evening. We were doing things, and then from 10 you were kind of free. Mostly it was like 11 because those got later, and so you still stayed awake. You still had to go to go to the toilet, take a shower, clean your teeth, etc. So you mostly went to bed at like 12 till 1.
12 to 1. So for you, that must be pretty like tough, right? Because you really need your sleeps.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you get used to it. That's the problem. You really get, even though on the weekends I always slept so much.
Just to catch up, right? Recharge.
Yeah. Oh my god! You just reminded me of something. So, so a lot of guys in the army, I don't know why. Oh, this is really disgusting. A lot of guys in the army, I don't know why exactly they did it, but they didn't shit in the army. Like some of them didn't shit in the how's it called, the barracks.
Yeah.
So they just for 5 days they just didn't shit.
How is that healthy?
It's not at all. It's disgusting.
It is. Diarrhea is all I can say.
I don't even want to know how destroyed the toilet was after that week.
Oh yeah, 5 days.
I'm sorry, this is really disgusting. But I don't know why, but some guys were like, oh yeah, I can't shit in the army because the problem is you're really so under stress. I think some people just really couldn't. Because you have so little time. During the day, if I wanted to go on the toilet, they gave you 2 minutes for a shit.
2 minutes, not 2.
2 minutes?
You have time. There's time limits to go to the toilet.
Yeah, mostly on the field you can't because there is no toilet nearby. So basically,
wait, there's no toilet.
No, you're just somewhere in the fields. You're just around the trees or whatever. So, so you clench your cheeks together if you have to go. Mostly you didn't have to because, like I said, you were so under stress. You're doing exercise, you're doing sports, and if you do sports, you usually don't have to go on the toilet. That's just how your body works.
But like 5 days.
Yeah,
Don't they like turn into stones or something?
I don't know. It must have been horrible. It must be so unhealthy.
And they did this for like months too.
I'm not sure if they did all the time, but some just came into the I didn't shit for a week, and you're just like, oh my god, that poor toilet, your poor ass.
How did this like, podcast turn into us talking about it?
I'm sorry, but you just reminded me. But it's just the army.
It happens. Like I've seen podcasts, they turn into like they start talking about like shit, dick jokes and.
So Kelly, is there any other thing do you want to like know about? I don't know, weapons or training or.
Yeah, weapons. If you probably fired a gun, right? It's like basic.
Well, I fired a lot of guns. So if you want.
So did you wear like protectives to like cover your ears?
Yeah, sure. Super loud. You never had fired a gun, right? Yeah, it's super.
Never.
It's super loud. If you don't do, I don't know how they do it on movie sets and stuff. It's so loud.
So everybody has to wear a protective something for the ears, right?
Yeah, I mean you have like shooting stands, and usually you don't shoot in the free. You have to go to shooting stands because you can't just in the end you can shoot somebody else.
So and they use live bullets too.
I mean, there are different kinds of bullets, but we use live bullets. They also have like they call like I think it was like it's basically like laser bullets where you can shoot it. It's like laser tag. They still like give a firing sound like to if you want to exercise with other soldiers. If you like in buildings and stuff. You basically play laser tag, but with the real gun and with the full magazine and stuff. So you get like a realistic scenario. That's what they also did.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but in the shooting stands we used real bullets, but we had a lot of weapons actually. We had we had the machine gun, the Sturmgewehr. We in the infantry, if you do the full thing, you still get a pistol.
Pistol.
Yeah, and, oh my god! But one of the guys was there. He was an Iraqi Kurd, I think. And
that's gonna trigger a lot of like perks.
But wait, an Iraqi Kurd, and that guy, they gave him a pistol. You have like numbers in your pistol. So my pistol was 980. Like there's like a lot of numbers, but you have to remember like the last 3 digits, and mine was 980, and he got the 911 pistol.
Oh no! So that must be like inside. People probably made fun of that, right?
Oh, he himself, he loved it. He loved it.
Huh?
He loved it.
Oh.
He found it so funny. He was just like, wait, they gave me a 911 pistol. Oh my god, I love it.
Oh no. What if the FBI suddenly has to like go through YouTube videos? Because somebody decided to flag our videos. Imagine having like a YouTube employee sitting through our podcast.
Just to listen about a 9/11 joke. So, like I said, we had the pistols. We still once threw more than once. We threw grenades.
Oh. Real ones too, or
real grenades. I mean, without what you can do, you can have like the same explosion, but they took out the how's it called? Like the metal pieces inside, which are supposed to pierce you, like the nails. So it's basically just
like I imagine like if it goes wrong, right? That's kind of like someone like throws it a bit late or something like that. That'll end pretty badly.
Yeah, so the Swiss grenade, because every nation has a different grenade, or a lot of nations have like different grenades. The Swiss grenade works similar as you expect. You have it in your hand, right? Do you know how a grenade looks? If you want to quickly send you like an image on Discord. So
it's the H85 fragmentation grenade. That's what I found on the internet.
Wait,
it's used by the Swiss, United Kingdom, and the Netherlands.
Might be the same. I'll quickly send you an image, but I could continue talking. I'll try to multitask. So,
okay.
And he failed. So the Swiss grenade, you hold it. I might just put it on the podcast if I think about it. So you hold it. You have like the trigger to pull, like the pen thingy. Oh my god, it's kind of. And then you like hold it together, and then when you pull it, nothing happens yet. You can put it back in. It's no problem. But as soon as you let it go, you have got 3 seconds till it explodes.
3 seconds. That's not long, right? That's actually pretty short
That's
for
pretty
a
short.
grenade.
Yeah, like a lot of games have it like for longer, but 3 seconds, especially because if you have. I found it. I found it. I'll send it to you now, Kelly.
Okay. Oh, it looks.
Yeah, but that's from the inside. It's not like not a used one.
Mm.
So you see where the circle thing is that you can pull out the stuff that's pulled out. You can put it back in, no problem. But as soon as you let it go, the whole thing.
Like let which?
Uh, you see like the top part.
Yeah.
That the whole thing, which goes in the inside. It has like it's like the. It's kind of hard to explain. Just let it go, and then it falls off the top part.
Mm-hmm.
So it honestly looks like an apple in the end. And then you have 3 seconds till it explodes, and we threw those as well. Some of us also had an RPG. I never got to shoot an RPG though.
That sounds pretty painful to your ears.
Yeah, I mean with the hearing aid thingy, it always works. Then we still had machine guns. I could shoot those.
Mm-hmm. Those must be, right?
Those are fun, yeah. You just shake
What
around a
else?
little bit on the. I mean, I only shot it once, so I was just basically lying on the floor, shaking around a little bit with the machine gun, having fun.
So is the recoil pretty like hard to control, like how they portray it in some like video games, right?
Well, we did it while lying down, so not really.
Uh,
It's always different. If you stand up, it's really a lot harder. But if you lie down, the aiming is so much more accurate. And
what
yeah,
else? Did you have mortars? Like how many mortars did you do that?
we didn't have mortars, no. Oh, we had a.
Because
I once shot a
have you seen
grenade
the
launcher.
huh?
A grenade launcher. That's what we also had.
Grenade launchers. So it's a bit similar to like RPGs, right? But like grenades instead.
Yeah, but it's like the RPG goes straight, and the grenade launcher has like an arc.
Oh, so it's like a mortar, right? Similar to that. Is that what you call it?
No, not really. A mortar is like something you install on the ground. You can like shoot it far, and the grenade launcher is something you attach to your gun. You can attach it to your normal gun, and then you can shoot mortars like grenades.
So have you seen those like YouTube videos like failed like instead of like launching in a arc, it launches in front of them?
Oh my god! Yeah, that does in mortars often. Yeah.
Yeah, those are mortars.
Oh damn.
Hopefully nothing happens like that in your like stories in the future.
No, nothing. I mean, some bad things happen, but not that bad.
Why someone lose like a fingernail or not finger, like a finger.
No, we thank God never really had like any big fire accidents. But what once happened was that a guy in the shooting range with the unloaded gun and everything, he like asked him a question, and then the other guy just turns around and points the gun at his head and say, "What?" Just turns around without thinking. With the unloaded gun and the finger basically ready to. I'm not sure if it was on the trigger, but it might have been.
Oh, pretty bad stuff. So everybody must have panicked, right? Like especially the guy getting pointed at.
Oh my god! I saw that guy like 2 hours later. He still was white. He still was shook.
2 hours. Right.
Or maybe it was 1 hour, but it was a long time. It was a significant time. That guy looked like he just looked death in the eye, which he probably did.
It was unloaded, right?
Sorry, what?
It was unloaded, right?
Yeah, it was unloaded and everything. You just honestly had to squeeze the trigger, but yeah. Basically, good luck. And it was like a super stupid mistake because they teach you like stay in the line. Just don't. If somebody asks you, just turn your head or whatever. You don't turn your body. But it's something which can happen so fast. Just if somebody asks something, often you just turn to that person, just because it's
like
polite.
An instinct, right? We're so used to like doing it that we didn't really think about it. Like, oh, I'm holding a gun.
Yeah, especially I think it was like at the end of an exercise, so he was tired. Yeah.
So how long do you usually work? Like you wake up, right? How long does all the exercises like and like the activities you do? How long do they usually?
I'll just quickly give you a rough. I mean, it depends very much because in the 10 months in the beginning you're training for like the first 20 weeks you're like fully in training etc. And then the rest you're actually like doing stuff. You're like working for the army. You're like I think we have the VEF, the Work Economics Forum. Some of my buddies went there, and they like were the guard there. Have you heard about it?
The what?
The World Economics Forum in Davos.
The World Economics Hold on, let me Google it.
Yeah, that's how you write it. Just the VEF. It's very well known, actually. Like a lot of the world
World,
leaders go there.
World Economics what again?
World Economics Forum.
Forum.
Yeah. Wait, when was Trump elected again president? Was that 16 or 14?
America's every 4 years, right? Then they're gonna have another election at 2016.
Yeah, I think that my buddies, one of my buddies, I think even saw Obama or something like that. I'm not sure anymore. Could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they see like a lot of the big people are there. But like I said, so I quickly, because we're in the beginning now, I'll just tell you like a casual day, like a normal day in the first like 7 weeks. So those like the very beginning training period. It's called AGA, and I don't even know what it stands for. So you wake up at, let's say, 5:30. Then you have like, don't know, like 10-15 minutes to like get dressed in the uniform. I mean, you could have gotten up earlier, but everybody just wanted to sleep, So
understandable, I guess.
So you just woke up and you already were in a stress. So you got up, got in the uniform, had to like clean the bed, make the bed ready. Then you go and like line up outside. You go and eat breakfast together for like 15-20 minutes. You go back. The guys tell you what kind of equipment you'll use today. So they say you have to take like your sleeping bag along, or they tell you have to take this or that along. You have to take your gun along. You can, they just tell you what you can take along or not. So you go back. You have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then you go and clean the rooms. Then you go outside. There's like a big meeting where all the company goes, and then like everybody's there, has to stand there in a perfect order. And like, some guys go and like check if the rooms are clean, if the toilets are clean, if everybody's clean shaved. Oh, you have to still shave, by the way, in that time when you still clean your rooms and get ready after that.
Like the head or what?
No, just the face.
Is there a punishment for that? Like if you don't do it, or not really?
Yeah, there is.
Like what's the punishment there? Like,
well, if it was a minor mistake, then you just could like you have to just go and clean again. You have to go and help the guys who are still cleaning. Or if it's like a little more severe, I mean, it's just very, it depends on the guy who just, is judging you basically. Then you had to like do stuff in the midday, and just instead of eating lunch in peace, you have to like go and run around and stuff. Yeah, not fun. So you had an incentive to be good shaved. So after that, you then walk. If everything's ready after that whole meeting, you go still get the big equipment like whatever. If you do what do we do? We do like check posts and stuff. Like if there's a situation, or an army, if there's like a check post, the check post is right.
Yeah.
So if basically car comes, you have to control it and stuff. Have to go to the driver. They have to take some stuff like that along. Had to like take equipment along to like mark the check post, etc. To have like the nail band, if somebody just drives off, you have somebody else who's like a nail band ready, so the car drives over nails and the tires explode, or just break.
Nail band?
I don't know how to call that thing. Yeah, like a very long. Wait, let me Google that quickly.
Let me try to.
Yeah, because I can't. Brand tape, they call it. Okay.
Brand tape.
What the hell's a
Let me
brand?
look for it.
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. Well, just like just imagine it's like a big box, and you've got a rope with nails on it, like big pointy nails, to break the tires.
They use for the police, right?
Yeah. So we had to get we had to get that kind of stuff. Then we had to walk for like what was it, like 5 kilometers with all that stuff. Then we were
5 kilometers.
Yeah, it's not that much, but it's a lot of heavy things.
Yeah.
Especially the rucksack and etc. Oh, we just had the Splitterschutz. How's it called? My God, the problem is I learned everything in German, so it's kind of hard to remember everything in English. Just like the vest, that the how's it called again? The bulletproof vest. But instead of just like having like a very thick layer, it has like iron in it, like It's covering your chest with iron and your back as well. That was quite heavy. It was like 15 kilograms.
Huh? How much?
15.
Ah, that's pretty heavy actually. 15 kilograms.
Yeah, but that was, that's one of the things you were wearing. You used to have the rucksack, which was quite heavy, etc. So yeah. So you went there. I barely have started. So you go there. You do like your day of training. You like train the check post. You like train how to arrest somebody. You train how it is if somebody runs towards you and you have to like react. Like if somebody runs to you with a knife, you have to respond with a pistol. So always one escalation above. You know, if somebody just comes and with his fist, you have the pepper spray, etc. If somebody comes with a gun, you've got the machine gun. So you learn a lot of stuff. Then it's like 12 o'clock. You're quite tired. You have like lunch break for 30 minutes. That's everything on the field. So you have like a little thing with you where you always eat from. You have to clean that. After that, the day goes on, turns evening. It's just a day of training, Sometimes they just will fuck you with some exercises because they just feel like it. Like they say, just, okay, everybody now has to do 20 push-ups with the vest on. And it's not a lot of fun doing 20 push-ups with the vest on. And yeah, we have to like practice shooting. There's a lot of stuff you do. Then you go back, you eat dinner, and after dinner you like still go outside. You wear a different. No wait, but you have to wear a different uniform. I think you sometimes have to wear a different uniform. Then you still make. You still practice other things like you practice the parades. If the army makes like parades, people like walk always similar stuff. You have to basically practice that part. You have to walk accordingly. And yeah, then it turns evening. You have to give back the material. Then you could go outside. You could like just go and have a beer or just eat outside. Mostly not, but sometimes you could. And then it was evening. Yeah. Then you went to bed.
So is it like pretty consistent, or like it changes?
Not really. It changes quite a bit. It's just a typical day, like one of the many. Sometimes it just took you out for like a half a day to the shooting range, or sometimes you like did other things for like a half a day. Just depends. Because we had to like get a certain amount of points if you shoot. You have to like achieve a good amount of points to stay in the angle.
You couldn't really leave the shooting range if you couldn't like achieve those goals.
No, not something like that. It was more like, well, you have to get it till then, and otherwise you'll have some trouble. Otherwise, you either have to otherwise you redo the whole test again, which takes for quite long to like everything set up again. You'll miss out on other training and stuff, and it's just like I said, like in the beginning for me. In the army, it's always annoying to be somehow behind everybody else because then you're just fucked.
It's similar to school, right? Like if you miss a few days of school, when you come back, you have so much like makeup stuff to like catch up with.
Yeah, basically, you just have a lot of stuff to do at once, but just in a lot more like physical form. And yeah, that's like a typical day. I think that's enough army for today, and probably enough podcast for today as well. Huh? Should soon be going. Do you have like any questions still, Kelly, to like the whole army or?
Any more questions? Let me think actually.
Take your time.
Alright.
I mean, you can ask like technical things to the guns. You can ask anything. We use like vehicles and stuff.
What?
We use vehicles.
Oh yeah, vehicles. How about tanks? Do you have anything related to tanks?
We did get tanks later on for our units, but they weren't like the big tanks. It was more like the infantry tanks, like the piranhas, I think they're called. Do you want to Google that quickly? Piranha, like the fish.
Piranha.
Yeah, piranha. So they're like small tanks. Like it's not was a barrel. Like was the where the shoe picks it was a machine gun.
Wait, how do you spell them? When I search piranha tanks, they actually like for the actual water.
So that's how you spell, as far as I know. But then you have to like search like Swiss Army or something like that. Swiss Army piranha probably. Something like this, I guess.
Like armored cars or something.
Yeah, but it's more like a tank, but it just doesn't have like the tank, shooting thingy. But yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, they're cool. Oh, those things, I don't know why, but in the army, because you always sleep so little, you tend to fall asleep everywhere. Those things
sorry, what again?
I said what tends to happen is in the army you sleep so little that if you want to have a little break, if you like drive somewhere for some minutes, you always fall asleep. In those tanks, I slept so much. I always, as soon as I got in those tanks, I almost always was gone. But yeah,
Like when it must have like felt uncomfortable, right? Like when the tank moves, or it just feels like a normal car.
Yeah, it's not that comfortable. I mean, don't forget you have like all your material with you, and there's no space, and like 10 other guys in there, and the small behind with you. But the problem is, if it's everything's so close and it gets warm, you just really, really fall asleep. It basically, I got into a position. I like put the, I think I leaned on my gun. I was leaning on my gun, put it like pointed it to the floor, leaned on my gun, fell asleep.
Are you sure nothing happened to you while you're sleeping?
Yeah, we usually didn't drive that long, and most was just like, okay, sit in, and we're gone.
Uh,
Yeah,
Pretty.
there's still a lot of things I could talk about, but this is not like the basic beginning.
You still have a lot of stories.
Oh, I have so many stories. This is not just like a basically basic introduction to what the Swiss Army is in the beginning. You didn't even hear about how I was a shit soldier.
Oh yeah. You're not exaggerating when you say you were like the worst.
And I wasn't the worst, but I was, like I wasn't
Did you?
trying to be a good soldier. I could have been a lot better, but I was like, I don't know why. But yeah, I really didn't try, and I tried to somehow go out of my way sometimes. But we can get into that another time.
Sure. So,
So
do you want to end the podcast here now?
yeah, I think that would be good.
So, okay. So, thank you guys for watching, and maybe we could have another. We could discuss more about the military thing in the future. And I think that's about it. And Juljas, do you have anything more to say?
No, thank you for watching. Sub to Kelly. Have a nice.
Oh yes, up to Juljas too.
Yeah. If anybody actually got here.
Painful.
Anyways, have a nice and bye.
See ya.